Welcome for part two of All About Children and Children's Spirits. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Eric.
Hello. Eric says hi to everyone. Hi, Mama.
Say hi to your fans. Hi, sweetie. So let's go on and ask some more questions about children. Now, when they're in the afterlife, do they stay children? I mean, who takes care of them? Tell me something about that. Go into that.
It's when they come into the afterlife, even when they are infants, days old, months old, years old, they tend to stay that age until they're comfortable with their environment. And then they allow, he said, what I call like the mass knowledge to kind of seep into them.
Okay.
So they can, as you might call it, grow up.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, if they enjoy being young or little, they'll keep that structure, keep that appearance.
Mm-hmm.
If they're infants, most of the time, in general, they enjoy staying with the parents through the process of grieving and understanding all of that. And then, if they can, they're going to look back into getting into that family one more time.
Okay.
If they want to do that, they'll stay little. They'll stay what we could see in our heads as small, energetically small. If they're older and they know that they can't get back into that family, in general, a lot of them like to grow up with the family.
Okay.
So every year that passes by, they'll kind of get a little bit older, a little bit taller, and they change and grow with the family, and they kind of take on that role as guiding their family. If they have other siblings, they love checking in on the siblings, kind of being with the parents and growing with them.
Okay.
If, let's say it was a situation where they didn't really want to be back in the family, and they didn't want to grow up with the family for whatever choice that is, then they will take the time to kind of absorb their mass knowledge. A lot of you guys call it the archives. I just call it, if you want to know it, then you'll go and learn it. They'll start to do that, and they'll start to kind of, no, do you want to say that? They'll kind of merge back into themselves. I know it sounds funny to say it like that, right?
It does.
Like if we have other lifetimes happening, and we have all these incarnations, and it's not linear, he says, it's kind of all happening at once. And so if we're relinquishing that life and we don't care to play along with it anymore, then we'll kind of push our energy back into ourselves in other lifetimes and locations.
So So the little infant, 3-month-old infant is up there. Does somebody take care of him? I know that's a job I'd sign up for because you have no diapers to change. But yeah, what about that?
He said most of the time the ancestral lineage, the line of the family that they came into, you'll have grandparents and great-grandparents, aunts and uncles. There's all kinds of support systems in place like that already. So it's not like, oh, the nanny spirit is called up to collect the baby and take care of the baby. Because it's not like that at all. The baby is independent in and of itself. It doesn't need to be fed. It doesn't need to be groomed. It can already move and walk and exist in and of itself.
Okay.
It wouldn't be seen as infantile.
Okay.
When it crosses over, yes, because it's coming away from that human experience.
Okay.
But as it absorbs its awareness and where it is, then it starts to collect the mass knowledge, and therefore it does not need someone to provide for it.
Right. Okay.
Unless it's coming back into the family. And then we have spirits in place that help, he says, I guess you want to call it help incarnating. So they're already looking at, okay, can I get back in? Can I carry the same lessons? Can I carry over the same timing? All these things. That's all looked at and groomed at because of free will.
Okay.
And that does require another entity to help you with that. You can call them spirit council, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
He's going, labels. Kind of leans back.
He hates labels. It's kind of freeze framing, but I guess it's just going to have to be that way. It says Paul Recorder keeps going popping up and saying that my Mac is not fast enough. So I guess I have to get a new one. Yay! All right, go on. Now, Or are there any spirits that kind of create a situation where, hey, I want to take care of babies, so they give themselves that job? They have some sort of agreement with the baby that's passed.
Is that if you want to play out that role, you can. I mean, it's all possibility over here.
Well, that's true.
Because, but that's a very human need. It's a very...
Yeah.
There are times where there is you can call it a spirit guide, angel, guardian, who helps the baby spirit through the pregnancy and being born if it's difficult for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of times babies don't enjoy that process, and he kind of throws up his arm and he goes, imagine being claustrophobic.
Yeah, really.
tight, dark, small spaces, and he's like curling up. He says it takes time to kind of condense your energy, condense your soul, get it focused and get it into the body.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm all for getting in there to be birthed,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes it happens after the birthing process.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. They want to make sure, I guess. Make sure everything's okay. Let's see. Do they often come back to us in the lifetime we live at the present? In other words, say Sally lost a child. Can it come back
Bobby.
as her other child, or maybe as her sister's child, or...
Yes, he was shouting out the name Bobby.
Bobby, huh? Okay, we'll work with Bobby.
Sally lost Bobby. If Sally's not able to have another child,
Mm-hmm.
and Bobby still wants to be in the family, yes, there's many occasions they'll wait to be a grandchild,
Mm-hmm.
or they will come through the sister, the brother, to be a niece or nephew.
Okay.
And there are occasions where they'll come through and be the family pet as well.
Oh, okay. Wow. Fido.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some tips on how to parent children? What are some main tips? I could have used them like 5 kids ago, but go ahead. Better late than
He's up and pacing. He says, you really want to ask that? He goes, oh my gosh.
Well, give me a couple of big ones. Throw me out a couple.
Oh, he's really excited. He goes, okay, just a couple of big ones. Number one, yeah, just stick to the parenting thing. Listen to the child's emotional needs, not to what they're saying. Okay. They don't always have the right words, and sometimes they're misusing the words. Listen to the emotions. Number two, let the child lead. Even though you might think that they are immature, that they are too little, they know their safety. They know their boundaries. Yes, we're not going to let them lead themselves across a highway because they understand a fast-moving car. He goes, I'm not saying that. He goes, I'm saying there are times that you are holding them back for fear that something might happen in a safe area. Let's say at a playground or in a field. Don't run too far because you want to see what they're stepping on, or you want to. And he says you sometimes just need to let them take care of themselves.
Yeah, and discover their environment, discover their abilities, figure out how to use their body.
Yes. He said my third big one would be ask the child what they feel and what they need. Mm-hmm. You'd be so surprised to hear that they have an understanding way beyond than what you expected them. Sometimes as parents, I'll see the mom or the dad kind of think or feel that they're really needed, that they are there to raise that child, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. And they don't ever stop and ask, what are your needs and what are you feeling? What are your needs? And what are you feeling?
Sorry about the quality, guys. Maybe I just have to get a new computer, damn it. Okay, those are good. So, what if children grow up to be problem teenagers? Why do they become that way, and what can we do to help them?
He said that's hard because problem is a really big word. Can you hear the feedback?
Oh, a little bit, not much.
Okay. Problem is a big word. We have to take into consideration hormone imbalances.
Mm-hmm.
We have to take into consideration, is there any kind of mental imbalance or emotional imbalance?
Mm-hmm.
And then we need to look at nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have to look at, is the child being undermined, not being respected?
Okay.
So problems can arise from all of those occasions.
Yeah.
Now you just need to sit down, and if you can't do it yourself, you lean on a therapist or a doctor to help you figure out where your child fits in that problem area.
Okay. All right. Now, how can we raise our kids to be more spiritual?
Ooh, start from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
He said by letting the child have more respect, boundaries, and treating them as emotional beings.
What about their schooling? Is there anything we can do to change schools such that they help us raise our children to be more spiritual? He's talking and talking, huh?
He's way ahead of you.
Okay.
It's really passionate about this.
I know. It's a big one for him.
He doesn't enjoy the school structure, the public school structure, that puts the teacher as an authority figure
Mm-hmm.
and sets up the classroom to fit the extrovert,
Okay.
where it's designed for all kids to do the same task to reach a number. Testing fucking pisses me off.
I know. I didn't care for it either.
He said it doesn't measure anything. It's not giving us what we need. Like, we do all understand that the public school system was designed by some other person who decided, oh, we have more than one child, so we just can't teach them as they're needed, so we're just going to design a format that everybody should fit into.
Right.
It's not working.
No.
And now, with technology growing and booming, we're not allowing technology into our classrooms enough, whether it's because of financial support, ignorance, they don't believe that it can do anything for the child, that it's a distraction.
Right.
So we're missing out on experiences. Kids learn through experience, not by sitting down and being told the story of how somebody else traveled or explored or discovered something.
Mm-hmm.
If schools could be designed to be taught through experience and taught through the learning or visual or audio, did I make it wrong? Taught through visual, audio, and kinetic learning.
Okay.
And that kids can move at their own pace.
Yes. Like a Montessori.
We'd be surprised.
Like Montessori.
Yes. Montessori fits some kids. He said you'd be surprised if they could learn at their own pace, and those kids would graduate at 15.
Wow. Something else. But could they also, and will they, embed things in the curriculum that are spiritual, like learning how to meditate, learning how to energy heal, learning how to get centered, grounded?
Because I think what needs to be put into every school system is nonviolent communication, being able to speak from emotional needs.
Great book.
That also helps with conflict resolution. That also helps with conflict. I believe that finding your center. I believe that finding your center should be taught in every school system.
Mm-hmm.
For some kids, that will be sitting still and meditating.
Mm-hmm.
For other kids, it will be yoga. For other kids, it would be singing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to teach to visual, audio, kinetic.
Oh, I see. Yes, yes. Okay. Anything else you want to say about kids?
One other thing that should be taught in every school system is, along with respiratory system, circulatory system, digestive system, is the energetic system.
Oh, yeah, the chakras and everything, yeah.
Yeah, we have enough information on it now. We can use this to help heal our bodies, heal our emotional self, help boost our confidence.
Mm.
We'd have some badass kids in the States if we could do this.
I know. I think we're just going to have to start out with the charter schools. You guys out there, start one. We need it badly. And then maybe we'll eventually spread through the public school system. So, all right, guys. Thank you very much. I need to do something about this whole audio visual thing, Jamie. Maybe I'll try GoToMeeting. I can imagine it being my computer. Anybody out there, you know, I've got a MacBook Pro. Make your comments. Why am I having this problem? Why? I never heard. I can understand internet speed making a difference, but not computer speed. I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to research that. In the meantime, Jamie, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And Erik, thank you so much. You guys go to Jamie's site, withloveandlight.com. She's got some cool stuff going on there.